You heard Nick Cave with the long, great song that was Red Right Hand, and that's off the Scream soundtrack, 1996 horror film. I think a classic at this point, you can say it. That would make me feel old, but I don't know, I'm not that old. 20s, come on. But anyway, some people would, I guess, call it a classic at this point. I don't know. Anyway, good year for horror films. Did some research on that series. Excellent time had. Anyway, before I do, I guess, an early wrap-up on the show, I have two things. I have a slightly longer review of the film Bottoms, which is on digital. And I have just a brief look into the future shows for October. It's going to be mostly loaded with horror songs. And, of course, we're going to still play songs that are relevant to, movies that are coming out next month. But it's going to be mostly a horror show. And who knows, basketball season is coming up. Might inject a little sports corner, maybe, possibly. But you can definitely count on me breaking out the Eminem's Relapse joint, the best horror rap album of all time, arguably, and I'm going to clean it up, and it's going to be silent, because a clean Eminem album, as we all know, is just pure silence. But yeah, it's going to be a good time had, and next week I'll have very fun news regarding yours truly, entering in a little film festival. I'll have an update on that next week. And let's get, I guess, then to the Bottoms review. So here it is. Longer review about the movie that has just captured hearts, especially gay hearts, among the nation. Bottoms, which is directed by, I believe, a Canadian, but it's the best American comedy directed by a Canadian since, Evan Reitman. What was the last great movie he did? Groundhog Day? Let's just say that. Anyway, Bottoms. First of all, the idea that a cheerleader would go for a loser gay high schooler who dresses like a small Dutch boy, perfect. We need that in movies. We don't see that in movies anymore, or at all. But honestly, it reminded me of The Simpsons, rapid fire, one joke or two jokes per minute, no misses whatsoever. But unlike The Simpsons, there is improvisation in this film, and it's perfectly paced. It's like the movie equivalent of a tight five. And I thought that Emma Seligman did a fantastic job with the cast. She knew, what was funny, and, she probably had to, do that thing where you kill your darlings during a movie, but it ended up okay. More than okay. It just ended up being no complaints, really. I mean, some people might say I wanted it to be longer. I thought it didn't overstay at the party. And what a party. I mean, as long as you have a sense of humor, no matter your age, gender, job, sexuality, preferences, doesn't matter. This is a lighthearted comedy, and to be honest, it was better than Booksmart. And this isn't Regency bias talking. And the background sight gags, you have to watch the movie again to really get them. And now that it's on digital, people can really look at the sight gags in the background that do remind me of my high school experience of seeing, the seniors actually doing stupid things when you're eating lunch, and they captured that perfectly. They took it to a more ridiculous notch. They took it up a notch, which I loved, and you should do that with comedies. You should make it more outrageous. These days, it seems like people are trying to do comedy dramas. Here, they're just trying to do a comedy. And frankly, people are complaining a little bit, some people, because they feel like, oh, but there's that serious moment. I'm like, well, there should be a serious moment, and it doesn't kill the movie. But I don't think this is a movie where it's going to be insensitive towards, real stuff that goes on in high schools either. Anyway, thought it was very funny. I also think that Edgar Wright, who's clearly made a mark on Emma Seligman. I think he would be proud. I also think that blowing up a football star player's car is personally always a highlight of any high school comedy, going back from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That was not a blow up, but it was vandalism, and this is even better than that, dare I say. No, I said it. And yeah, I would say it's the funniest act of terrorism I've seen in a movie this entire year. There are plenty of movies I need to catch up on, by the way, but thankfully, a lot of movies from the start of the year are now streaming or are at least available to buy. Anyway, that wraps up my Bottoms review, and if you haven't seen the movie yet,